like the 13th skull, Padme is gone. And also like the 13th skull, Vader is gone, missing. Batman and Batman and Batman, they're all missing. Where are these figures? Did I find any of them? Any of the clues that kind of points to what's going on? Any of the clues that point to the location of the 13th skull? Wait a minute. Looks like I'm getting a call. Could it be from an extraterrestrial? Let's pick it up. Hello? 13th skull. What? Are you calling from my car? What do you mean, why do I ask that? I found you. Everyone's following me on Instagram. They know that I have been on the hunt, and I have located the 13th skull. Really? You're the 14th skull. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't know there was a 14th skull. I thought there was only 13 skulls. Well, and I didn't know that there was a... What do you mean that there's another Padme coming? What do you mean that there's another Vader? What do you mean that there's more Batmans? Not Christian Bale. Listen, 13th. 14th skull, wait. Padme's gone. Batman is gone. Is Mace far behind? The super battle droid? What's going on with this Vader? I've got the coffee. What number skull is this, my friends? Let's go ahead and dive into all this juiciness right now. And welcome everyone to another episode of the Aries Tarrington Show right here at Six Scale Cantina. Listen, speaking of Instagram, the link to follow me there and on Facebook is in the video description below if you want to find out more about my ongoing hunt and pursuit of the 13th skull, the 14th skull, the 20th skull, and all of these hot toys. Let's jump right into this, baby. All right. There's a lot of news here. And what does this all mean? And what does this point to? And we're going to be diving into that, not only within this episode, but in upcoming episodes, spin-off episodes, in what's going on with this, for sure. But let's go ahead and talk about this Vader first. Because this Vader was number one on Sideshow, the official distributor for Hot Toys here in the United States and also in Europe. This figure was number one for a couple of months, and I think a week or two, maybe beyond. And now, when you look at this up on the screen, first of all, the collector edition has been on waitlist for a while. The deluxe version now has a low stock remaining warning. Now, if you try to get the deluxe exclusive version, that's also been on waitlist for a while. And if you try to just get the exclusive version, that is on waitlist. And as aforementioned, if you try and just get the collector edition, that is also on waitlist. The one remaining now has a big warning next to it. Low stock remaining. But you have to ask yourself, how important is it to go ahead and place your pre-order on a figure of this magnitude? And this particular version of Darth Vader absolutely broke the internet. It was a great job portrayed by Hayden Christensen, this version of Vader in the Obi-Wan series on Disney Plus. And then when this figure came out and we saw all of the amazing photos of this particular figure, pulling this up onto the screen, I mean, this half a head sculpt is absolutely unbelievable. It looks fantastic. And you know I don't collect Hot Toys because I budget. I have to set parameters somewhere that don't have human or alien head sculpts. But this half of one baby, it absolutely counts as a head sculpt for me. And this figure right here, is this one that can fetch buku bucks in the secondary market right when it gets released. Now, assuming that this hits waitlist before it officially gets released, and we see the blogger photos, and we see, the various videos that are going to come out. Usually we'll see MRC, Collection Ventures, Regan's video will come out usually first, and we'll get we'll get a first-hand view. And if it looks like this, or that broke the internet, and if at all possible, that it even surpasses expectations of what we see here, you do have to wonder just how expensive this figure could be within the secondary market. And, we are seeing so many figures from sellers on eBay, for instance, where you see all the William Dafoe Green Goblins, whether it's the modern suit or the throwback suit, or whether it's Doc Ock or the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man from No Way Home, or the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man from No Way Home, or Crosshair, or Batman with the bat signal, and you're seeing, or any of those from the Batman movie, and I can go on and on. But sometimes these figures, like Padme, like Cobb Vanth, being sold for $200-300 more than retail. And it is, for me, a wonder on what would happen to this Darth Vader that we see centered on this banner and going back to Sideshow on this particular, on the website, on their product description page. And should we, under that view, if you wanted this figure and you have the money for this figure and you can budget for this figure and you've just been waiting, should you place down your pre-order before this low stock remaining actually says waitlist? And I say yes. I tell you what, I didn't yet. And with this particular figure here, I better hope it doesn't go on waitlist before the recording of the show. But I feel like with this one, I can't pre-order everything. I wait for it to come out, but I know for a fact, and money's tight, but I'm gonna get this one. I mean, this is just, it's too good. I'm gonna go ahead and put an NRD down on this because I don't want to mess around with some of the stuff that's going on in the secondary market and with sellers running these prices up. I mean, look at this $335 price tag for the deluxe version. And, is it possible that some sellers would sell this for $500, even $700? And like the aforementioned ones that, I talked about, like you could look right here and look at this Batman, and this has been on waitlist for a bit. The Batman and the Bat Signal. Now, the Batman is gone, and the bike by itself, and all the other stuff that, but this particular bundle here, has been on waitlist, and, it's a $520 set. And already, for a price that's already that's kind of pricey as it is, just being over $500. And then when you go ahead and you pull up what's happening to some of these figures now, like this one right here. And this is from an outstanding seller with 770 feedback. All 100% positive. And look at this, well over $750. Wow. I mean, you talk about instant graham. You talk about figures that are going up right now, sets that are going up, that are, rivaling Darkside Anakin and the animated Boba Fett, and even some 2-packs. And you can see right here, $750 free shipping, but not including taxes. Wow. I mean, like, close to $800 for this particular figure. And again, when you go ahead and look at what this went for, if I could pull it up onto the screen, $520. So going back, to this Darth Vader, and the fact that 3 of the 4 versions are already on waitlist, and you've got one now with a low stock remaining warning at $335, and the fact that it's Darth Vader, who's you could put him right next to Batman as being so iconic in that, and a real battle damaged Darth Vader right here. Should we wait on this and think it's going to go? And what so many channel creators and people have said over the last, few years, into the bargain bin. And I don't think we should wait on that. But this is breaking news. If you didn't secure this yet, I'm kind of talking to myself here too. I think I'm going to have to get this figure. And yeah, I would get it off, somebody else. Or honestly, I'm seeing some of these figures now that, it's just, some of them are just, hey, it's rare, like the Green Goblins or the Doc Ock or some of these figures that are coming out, and they're, the price is just really high. So I kind of want to get this, now. So that's breaking news right there on this Darth Vader. And really, with Darth Vader, and it seems like, unlike Iron Man, unlike Loki, unlike Boba Fett, unlike Scarlet Witch, unlike Spider-Man, unlike some figures where there's quite a lot of versions, there's only a couple of Vader on right now. Is it possible that there's going to be, especially with this new Darkside line from Hot Toys that they teased at the beginning of the year, is there going to be perhaps one or two more Darth Vaders that are going to pop up on pre-order. Maybe even one from this Obi-Wan series. And I do think it's possible. But when you look at this Darth Vader right here, now bringing up the Return of the Jedi Darth Vader, which is really super prevalent to a younger, an older generation. And of course, the collector edition has been and is on waitlist. And the deluxe edition has no warning at all. But is this not far behind as well? And this is absolutely for those that don't collect quarter scale, the quarter scale Darth Vader from Hot Toys, or really can't afford it. And $350 is, of course, expensive, but easier than getting the quarter scale one that was 500 something at retail. And, what happens to this figure if it gets a low stock warning, or if it just suddenly pops on waitlist like that Padme we're going to talk about here in just a minute. But I mean, when you look at this up on the screen, this is just sick. Just like that other battle damaged, cracked helmet from the Vader and the Obi-Wan series. And will this Vader act the same way? Will it be in that much demand as well? Just like that Batman with the bat signal that you see already up on eBay. And I say yes. And we're going to have to keep an eye on this. But should we be comfortable in thinking that we can just, this is going to get in stock? There's been a couple up there. We've been talking about Padme. We've been thinking about, maybe they're just going to go ahead and put Padme and Mace and the super battle droid for whatever reason. That would be if it was. We're just going to go ahead and put those in stock. And just like we have all the other figures that have been in stock, at Sideshow for such a long time. And it's looking like right now, even though it's the very beginning, it's in the middle of the, first quarter. Still, in the beginning parts of the first quarter here, or in the middle of the first quarter of 2024, that the same type of thing is happening as last year. So I would keep an eye on both of these versions for Vader. And there could be a couple of other versions of Vader that can be coming up here in 2024. That's going to take the place of both of these. And before we go ahead and get to Padme and what's going on there, remember the counterpart to the Hayden Christensen Darth Vader is this. Now, I already spoke about this on my last show that you saw there, the Aries Tarrington show. Of course, both versions of this Obi-Wan, on waitlist, and it goes with that Vader. But you do have to ask yourself, how will Obi-Wan Kenobi do in the secondary market? How, will it act like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, Doc Ock, the Green Goblin, Crosshair? I can tell you that any version of Obi-Wan, regardless of what you think, I mean, here's the Alec Guinness version of Obi-Wan, and just back from the very end of January, from an outstanding seller with 4,610 feedback, $485 with 24 bids. And no matter what Obi-Wan that I see, this is other data that we can use that kind of shows us, hey, where is that Obi-Wan going? And there were some, thoughts and some mixed feelings about this Obi-Wan Kenobi when it first came out. But honestly, like with some of these pictures like this one, I don't think it looks too bad at all. And if they go ahead and they knock this out of the park, how is this going to do in the secondary market? And knowing that it's Obi-Wan Kenobi and that it goes with the Hayden Christensen Darth Vader. And, that's already gone. And should you join the wait list, I can tell you that this economy is is so volatile, and people don't have the money that they used to have to put down on all the figures that they did during COVID and in times when there was more expendable income to put towards things like collectibles and vacations and things of that nature. Should you join the wait list? Yes, because some people can't follow up on the payment plans. They can't continue. Or they go ahead and they put down their deposit, but they're like, the bell rings and it's like, hey, the piper calls. It's like, hey, I'm not ready. I don't got it. And you're going to get, dozens or so that are going to be available. And I've had, opportunities where wait lists are converted. And in many cases, too, didn't have the money or the funds available at that time, so I didn't take advantage of the wait list. But I can tell you from firsthand experience, many times they do convert. So would I do it on this if you've got the money and you really want this figure and don't want to be messing around in the secondary market, which quite frankly, with these figures, the secondary market should be the primary market when it first comes out, but these are just such low production. Well, what have I been saying? More and more announcements, but less production of those announcements. And when you're dealing with characters like Obi-Wan Kenobi, Batman, Darth Vader, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield versions of Spider-Man, and classic villains, and like Doc Ock, and like the Green Goblin, and I would consider Darth Vader a pretty classic villain. We're gonna have to keep an eye on what's going on with these in the secondary market. And then, moving to this right here. And, I kind of was warning about this, that we shouldn't get too comfortable. That, I was suggesting that if this didn't go on waitlist before the blogger photos came out, that it was most likely, in my view, from the trends that I've been seeing, that this would, within a week or two, just suddenly go on waitlist like the DX20 and DX21 Ahsoka Tano. And just like that Purge Trooper as well. And sure enough, this figure is waitlisted. Gone. And I would join this one as well, because I tell you what, we've waited for so long for Padme, for a version of Natalie Portman from the prequel trilogy. And, how do these female characters, and this is the mother of Princess Leia, and how do these classic characters, these characters that have so much meaning, that have so much depth into, the IPs that we really enjoy, and this one, of course, with Star Wars, and I could take a character here, that's not even from the prequels, and quite frankly was just in one movie, and is a very rare figure at this point, and right now outselling the deluxe version. And I've been keeping an eye on the Imperial disguise version of Jyn Erso for a long time. And you could see right here, and even in this economy, $517 used, with 14 bids, and from an outstanding seller with 978 feedback, all 100% positive, and not including the $20 in shipping, so $537, and not including taxes. Gosh, close to $600 for this amazing Jyn Erso figure, which I'm so grateful. I actually have this particular figure, and it is quite amazing. But do figures, these female characters that are leads, in shows, do they function like this in a secondary market? Quite like, Princess Leia figures, and whether it's the Leia Hoth, or how about the A New Hope Princess Leia figure from Hot Toys in the secondary market. So you do have to ask yourself, what would happen with this Padme now? And were some collectors thinking, oh, it's still available, this is one of those ones, it's Padme, you got to keep Padme in stock for people to to come in and have something in stock? Well, no, not necessarily. I'm not seeing that. Not when you've got all these Spider-Man figures and Iron Man figures, and all these classic, even Hallmark Marvel figures that are just not, they're going on waitlist right away. Whether it's Padme or whether it's Tony Stark, or whether it's like new Boba Fett's, like the Boba Fett from the book of Boba Fett, which, well, they took that out of stock, gosh, like a year ago. Doesn't matter if it's Cad Bane. It doesn't matter if it's even Troopers now. They're going ahead and taking these. So Padme certainly is no different than any other character in that regard. And now is on the wait list. Breaking news. Pause. You are watching the Aries Tarrington Show right here. 6 Scale Cantina. Delicious. Cheers to you, baby. Wow. Yes, this, she's gone. She is on the wait list. And does this, I'm going to use old Hot Toys talk. Does this open the door for other opportunities for Natalie Portman and other versions of Padme? And I say, no. This doesn't open the door. It doesn't even matter that this is on waitlist or not on waitlist. Look what they did with the Elizabeth Olsen artisan and sculpted version of an Endgame Scarlet Witch. And you've got those other Scarlet Witches and still in stock at Sideshow. It doesn't matter if this was going to be in stock as long as those Mark 85s, regular or battle damaged Iron Mans. They're still going to come out with not only one, but maybe a couple of Padme / Queen Amidalas here in 2024. Gosh, did you even look at Star Wars poster for the 20th anniversary of the 25th anniversary of the Phantom Menace, and you see that version of Queen Amidala, right front and center? Oh gosh, we're going to be talking about that on the next 100 proof short. But you could go ahead and put it to you this way. I've looked into the Wizards' crystal ball, baby. And Queen Amidala, maybe 2 of them, are right there for 2024. Gosh. But no, it doesn't matter if this is in stock or not. But certainly there will be more of these. But I think with any of these that they come out, they're just not going to sit there and last. Gosh, Padme, ladies and gentlemen, is gone. Is not there. And now she joins her counterpart from this 20th anniversary Wave 2 of Attack of the Clones. And this Anakin was on waitlist for a little bit longer, obviously, than Padme. I think this came in like right before the holidays, so I don't know, a couple of months now, maybe 2 or 3 months, not much longer than that. But this has been on waitlist. So that joins it. So let me go ahead and go to, this is a figure that we've been waiting for forever. And I'm pulling both of these up. And you could see this here coming up on the screen. And you could see both of these, Mace Windu and the Super Battle Droid, right now. You can pre-order these. But you have to wonder, for how long can you order these? And Anakin's gone. Now Padme's gone. Should we place hope? Oh, surely they're just going to put Mace in stock, like the Mark 85, like Mando and Grogu. Or surely they're going to put the Super Battle Droid in stock. They're not going to go ahead and not make a lot of those. I wouldn't bank on it. As in a matter of fact, is it possible that these can just go like the R2-D2 from the Attack of the Clones Wave 1? If you remember, 4 out of the 5 of those just, had low stock warnings, and R2 was there. And perhaps some collectors are thinking, well, it's R2, it sells really good in the secondary market. Not the Force Awakens one does pretty good, but the OT one does fantastic. So, they're going to leave that one on, and then just out of nowhere, whenever it was, within a week or a few days or whenever it was there, a week and a half, it just disappeared. I don't even think if there was a low stock warning, we just didn't have enough time for a warning. I don't think anyway. Perhaps, or maybe I just didn't see it. But you do have to wonder, are these next, and could they just go? And I say, yes, it's possible. So this is another figure right here. When you talk about iconic, Tobey Maguire came back, Andrew Garfield came back. Oh, look, we've got that digital, awesome job, I thought, of No Way Home Doc Ock. Does Mace Windu, does he qualify as an iconic character in Star Wars? And when you ask yourself that, I think the answer is yes. And, will this figure just be like, oh, yeah, you're seeing somebody's, you're seeing Cobb Vanth go for, buku bucks. Is Cobb Vanth, is a possible Cobb Vanth is more popular than Mace Windu? And when you ask yourself these questions, you're able to really start saying, hey, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't sleep on Mace. If you're a Mace fan, and this is where the chips get down. This is where I've been telling you for a couple of years already. You got to start planning the budget. You got to start planning not only to budget, but to budget on the figures that mean the most. Not every figure. When there was more expendable income and everybody was trapped inside during the pandemic, and there was a little bit more opportunity to really just say, hey, I'm going to get a collection as big as this channel creator or that channel creator or this or that, and that's just ludicrous. It's not even feasible for most of us that collect these. And going ahead and starting to write down what means the most to you, what's most precious to you. That's what you got to do. And for me, if I had to choose between a Super Battle Droid and Mace Windu, the question is already answered. I'm going to choose Mace Windu. I go ahead and want that figure. And when you have to choose between this or another Selena Kyle, that's a question that's hard to answer. Especially if you're building your Batman collection, your Christopher Nolan trilogy collection. If you have to choose between this Mace Windu and Thor from Love and Thunder. And it may be hard for some people. Now for me, I'm building my Marvel collection, but this one beats out Thor, from that. But honestly, if this is with the, Mace Windu, and then, you talk about, the Michael Keaton Batman from '89. These are tough. These are really, really tough because continuing with Batman and looking at some of these, it's I mean, first of all, let's go to this Batman from The Flash, because in the last one, this was on waitlist already, and this was on waitlist already, but this had a low stock warning. And, some people are wondering, well, maybe this one is going to be a low stock warning at $670 for, quite a long time, and I guess not. Now this is completely gone, and this is a Ben Affleck Batman, and then pulling this Batman up, which is the one I was getting to, and this is a 2.0 of the old DX from the 1989 Batman, and now whether it's the collector edition, waitlisted, and or the deluxe edition, also waitlisted. And this, I think that base looks pretty cool, to be honest with you. God, even this iconic '89 Batman, a 2.0, if you will, is waitlisted. Both versions, so nothing's immune, whether it's Padme or Mace or Darth Vader. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, you look at, arguably maybe some characters that aren't as popular, but very popular, but depending on what version, if it's rare, how does it do in the secondary market? I could pull up, the exoskeleton here from the Terminator Genesis, which I actually love that. But here's from the end of January, and I've been following this particular piece, and another one that sold for over $400. I reported one, I think, before the holidays at over $400 and $415. Wow. With 12 bids, and not including the $12, the modest $12.05 in shipping. And even when you go ahead and look at another DX, here's a DX10, and not the battle damage, but the plain one. $438, and it's used, an older figure used. You get this new, and it goes through the roof. But $438, all four of these out of stock now. Outstanding seller with 2,488 feedback. Gosh, free shipping. How do these type of figures and characters go in the secondary market? When they run out. And I got to bring this up onto the screen as we talk about this. The collector edition of Indiana Jones, as you know, is on waitlist. The deluxe version is another one that has no sign right now. But I'll be honest with you. How many days or weeks or months do we give this deluxe version of this Indiana Jones? And speaking of Indiana Jones, Han Solo. How long will this be available and be up on pre-order? Is it going to stay the same as where it was, 6 to 9 months? You're starting to see some now, 3 to 5 months. Where does this Han Solo fall with everything that I'm showing you? And it is interesting, and when you go ahead and you look at everything here, sort it out, best-selling wise, of course, number one now for the 2 weeks now, for week 2 is Han Solo. But looky here at what is creeping up, beyond some of these other figures now. All of a sudden, Darth Vader Deluxe almost gone, and Padme. Collectors are starting to see, wow, if I really want these, they're going to be gone. And they're starting to see what's happening in the secondary market, like with some of those ones that, I'm pulling up. Like that Batman and Bat Signal. These figures, they get pricey. It's like this. It's like this right here. It's like this Batman, Bat Signal, Green Goblin. Right here. Upgraded suit, $465, well over the retail price already. And it's on waitlist. You know, the free shipping, it's crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely, absolutely insane for sure. And look, if you liked what you watched here, go ahead and consider joining my channel. In fact, instead of me talking about this really cool insider video that's coming up and already recorded, let me go ahead and play a little clip and give you a sneak peek, not only of this upcoming episode for channel members, but what it's like when you go ahead and see shows that are exclusive as a Cantina Insider. Let's go ahead and roll it, baby. Besides just the usual, the Loch Ness Monster, Mothman, the Jersey Devil, Bigfoot, one of these supposed aliens now is the Pumpkinhead Joker. And you have to wonder, does this Pumpkinhead Joker come from a race of Jokers that has even a superior Joker to the Hot Toys in art or J&D Joker? And I say, wait a minute, I'm getting a call. Could it be from one of these Pumpkinhead Joker species? Let's pick it up and find out. I hope you enjoyed that. We have a lot of fun here on this channel. If you want to go ahead and join the channel, just go ahead, click on the little join button, see everything that it comes with. I do appreciate your support. Thank you very much. And thank you for watching this show, baby. This was a lot of fun. We're going to be keeping an eye on all of this. Look forward here later this week for another episode of 100 Proof Shorts. We're going to be talking about some crazy things and about some different things going on with Hot Toys for sure. Keep an eye out for the next big market show, which is also on the horizon. And remember, the Aries Tarrington show here once in a while, it's going to be live. So make sure you subscribe right here so that you get notified when I'm going live. Maybe it'll be in the morning, maybe at noon, in the afternoon, maybe at night. But the Dark Jedi will be going live this year. Don't you worry. Go ahead and reserve your tables now. Table 66, table 44, the coldest table in the cantina. The Dark Jedi will be back live. In the meantime, I don't always buy coffee out, but when I do, I do it right here at the 6 Scale Cantina. Stay thirsty, my friends.